Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Louie. Happy birthday to you.
Beautiful.
Woodby Harbor, and it was just completely filled. You couldn't find a place anywhere. So we ended up in this place that had like little cottages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had a cat that Martha loved.
Yep.
Anyhow, it was called the Whispering Pines. So we get in, it had 2 bedrooms, but the walls didn't go up to the ceiling. They were like partitions without it going up to the ceiling.
Lawrence University.
Oh, I've got one.
Oh, finally.
I've got
one. Say.
What am I supposed to say?
Louie.
You know,
What's
you
the name of the game?
Louie.
Same thing you say every
Louie,
morning
Louie.
when you're trying to get someone to wake up.
Oh no, we haven't got too many prizes left.
Yeah, they're
have we?
pretty well picked over now.
We'd laugh a lot, is what we did.
And then we bought a steer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
We decided since it was a the steak club, we would
We'd have a
get our own meat.
mascot.
So we bought a Angus calf, and my brother Marty kept it on the farm.
Oh,
And
I thought you meant
when it was
one
about
cut
a year and a half old, I guess. Then we had to butcher it,
yeah.
and nobody wanted to butcher it because that was Agnes the Angus.
Aw,
But that was the steak club. Once a month we get together.
we had fun.
Nice.
Yeah, Jack Whitney was a fun.
Yeah, Whitney was crazy. Park Hotel. Well, that's. I think we moved there when I was 7 years old or 8 years old.
Was it a hotel then?
Oh yeah.
When you were how old, Dad?
Beg your pardon?
How old were you when you moved there?
I think maybe I was 9. I don't know. But anyhow, we had this old hotel. We had 37 rooms, 2 baths. But I had at the desk they had a counter case. What was about 2 or 3 feet. Right behind it had candy in there. And that was my first business. I ran the candy concession there.
Huh.
I bought candy wholesale from the wholesaler and
Sage, sit down. Listen.
sold it.
And Granny took in anybody, right? Lots of people? She took in lots of people.
Well, we were the only ones that were taking black people. The rest of the town, there was a saying, don't let your butt, don't let the sun go down on your butt.
Oh. You had the Aunt Jemima.
But
You
we
had,
used to get a lot of Aunt Jemima. We got some musicians that played in town. We got the Golden New York Renaissance and the Globetrotters. And,
Satchel Paige stopped in.
which?
You said Satchel Paige stopped in.
Well, that was with the Kansas City Monarchs, yeah. That was quite right away. And I worked next door in the barber shop, shining shoes.
And this is the early 30s, right, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the worst years of the Depression.
Well, we were just kind of coming out of it, I guess,
Okay.
in the 30s. But anyhow, I worked next door in the barber shop, shining shoes. 10 cents for a shoe shine. And usually I got either 2 dimes or a quarter sometimes. But I did a good job. I would shine their shoes while they were getting a haircut.
Okay, Philip, your turn.
Picture of a classic Model A Roadster. It was just like mine. Convertible, rumble seat, side mount tires on both sides. Tan, I believe it was tan, I'm not positive, but I think it was tan.
Tan.
White wall tires, of course. Everybody had white wall tires. If you didn't have white walls, you painted a white wall on there.
So you didn't have a standard black Ford then?
No.
Really, they had different colors by then. Did you have a
Oh, they had, this was a 1929.
9?
No, this was a 1930, I think.
Okay.
Might have been a 29, I think. I had a Model A sedan, I had the Model A Roadster, and then I had, it was kind of an odd thing, they quit making the Model A in 1931. But they made a couple of them in 1932, and I had one. And if I'd have kept that one probably be worth a lot of money, because there was only a limited amount out. And I had it, and I sold them all. I guess so. I sold many cars. The state wrote me a letter and said I should get a license as a used car dealer.
They have pneumatic tires?
Oh yeah.
So
The Model A sedan that I had, that was in 41, no, 39. The car was a 29, but in the fall of the year I really didn't want to take it through the winter because they didn't have permanent antifreeze. Your car was constantly boiling over from alcohol. So my mother said, why don't you give it to your sisters? They have a house trailer, and it's a movable house trailer, but they don't have a car. So I thought that was a good idea. So I had 4 tires on the car, and I had 4 extra tires with tubes. So I drove over to I took the ferry over to Michigan. And when they were taking the cars out of the ferry, the guys from the ferry would drive them out. There was something over the loudspeaker. Would the person who owns the Model A please come down and get selling advertising on the road? Every day I drove 100 miles. And I got a little sick of driving 100 miles. So Uncle Billy was going to retire. So I bought the maple shop from him.
How long had he had it for?
I don't know. We had it how long? But anyhow, I had all 3 of the girls working for me. At least they were on the payroll.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
They didn't.
I sold a roll top
They were
desk.
going
Okay.
Which one were you pointing at?
Granny's macaroni.
Well, Granny, you know about Granny's macaroni. When we had the hotel, she would make it every Saturday. And everybody liked Granny's macaroni. And now to this day, everybody likes it. This Granny still makes it.
Occasionally I get that once in a while at my mom's house. The other one I remember is you told us a story about how you used to order hot water and put ketchup in it at the restaurant.
I remember that.
I don't remember that.
During the Depression, that sometimes people would go in and make their own tomato soup that way.
Oh, yeah. That was during the Depression. People would pour a little hot water, little ketchup of hot water, stir it up, and they had tomato soup. But those were tough times. If you saw a penny on the street, there were people diving for it. A dollar bill was, oh man, fantastic. But by the same token, things were very inexpensive. A hamburger was a nickel. And it was a big Sheboygan type hamburger. Coke was a nickel. Pepsi, their slogan was, they had a 12-ounce bottle and Coke was a 6-ounce. And they had a jingle that said, twice as much for a nickel too. Pepsi is the drink for you. The first movies I saw, one of the first talking movies.
I can't remember.
And he sang Sonny Boy. Climb upon my knee, Sonny Boy. Though you're only 3, Sonny Boy. It was, like I say, I think it was the first talking movie. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was. And Al Jolson was a big star at that time. He was #1. And believe it or not, he would appear in blackface. And then he wore white gloves. Today, if you did that, you'd get shot. You'd be put in prison at least.
Lifeguard.
I was giving the test. I was working for the Red Cross, and I was giving the test for lifeguards. And this cute little girl was one of the applicants. And I made sure that when we came to the, what did they call them? The front head hole or something. You were supposed to save a drowning person. and I made sure that I was the victim.
Ooh.
And I made sure she got a job too.
So you thought she was pretty cute, huh?
Yeah, I didn't
Had
say
you
that.
ever heard of her before then? No.
Yeah, she was a lifeguard at the quarry, right?
So was it love at first sight?
Well, you might say that. If there is such a thing.
What about you, Mom?
Oh, love at first sight.
Yeah, love at first sight.
I had to get rid of another boyfriend first.
That was, yeah.
Mother would never make it because you kids didn't like it, and she didn't like it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I didn't say I liked it, but I said
I love it.
I love it.
So she would, and the new kids started to say that Louie loves liver.
I've got sticks.
I was at the University of Wisconsin. I had to come home and leave college to run the hotel while she went to Holland. And she went over with a trunk full of clothing that she was going to give to her relatives and whatever. And she ended up swapping it for all the beautiful things that she had, you know, vases and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
She packed that trunk. It was a steamer trunk, about that high. Oh, you've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
And she had it loaded with that kind of stuff. But she gave all the clothing away.
Then another time Uncle Pete went.
Yeah, another time they went. With my Uncle Pete and my Aunt Lucy. And what did Uncle Pete bring back? Some cherries. As they tasted so good, and he wanted to know what tree they was from. He was on the farm, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But of all the things to bring back.
But it worked out. I mean,
Was he able to get the cherries to grow, or?
No, just to eat. He just liked to.
Okay.
Didn't.
Uncle Pete was a character.
Oh, Uncle Pete was something else.
He always had a truck. And he had a spittoon in the truck because he chewed tobacco and he was spitting that with spittoon. Oh, he was something else.
He was a bachelor then?
Hmm?
He was a
No, no.
bachelor?
No, Uncle
No.
Lucy. But they never had children.
No.
But they really
They,
kind of raised Bill and Marty, didn't they?
well, Marty, again, the depression, my mother had took in boarders, so we didn't have much room in the house. And they didn't have a, really turned out to be a hired hand. Marty must have been, well, he must have been 15, 16 years old, and he lived on the farm. He liked farming. After the war, he bought a farm, or during the war. With my brother Marty and my brother Bill,
I don't remember that.
Marty wanted to learn how to play
Hawaiian guitar.
a Hawaiian guitar.
Yeah.
Wine, wine, wine. And his teacher was a guy by the name of Queso Waiter. That was his last name. And they used to have an amateur night at the Vandervaart Theater every Thursday, I think it was. Anyhow, we had a bunch of musicians as